I'm Danny Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, well, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
Hi, I'm Lauren Harshman. I'm an event planner at Searsville Mansion, and you're watching Good Morning Frederick.
Good morning, Frederick. Today is Wednesday. I flipped my hair. Goodness, great. You know, it just shows I just don't check anything before I do anything. Well, you guys don't care. You've seen worse, I'm sure. Today is Wednesday, February 26th, and I am your host, Danny Gurry. Oh, good morning. Do we help you move? And Mama Cone, there she is, always my biggest fan. I love it so much. Let me just tell you, there is so much going on right now. I can't keep up. I stayed up till 2 a.m. and woke up at, I extended my alarm to 6:45. So I've got that kind of morning voice that, little rough. Sounds like I was out drinking or something, but I was not. I was here working because there's some huge things happening. I am shocked that in 1 month, basically, 1 month and a couple of days, this show will be 1 year old. We have our 1 year anniversary coming up April 1st. And I am in the throes of planning some big stuff. There is some huge stuff happening. And I can't wait to tell you guys all about it coming up throughout March. And then also, and hey, good morning, Michelle. Also, I am planning a huge egg hunt / scavenger hunt. And that is going to happen the week of April. I got to look here at the calendar because Easter is late this year. April 20th is Easter. The week of April 14th, I am going to hide 250 plastic eggs around Frederick County. And so I am putting together the logistics for that. And we're going to have the top prize is $500 cash. I'm going to be working with Maryland Lottery on prizing there. And of course, gift cards and all Good Morning Frederick swag, all kinds of other stuff. So that's what I was busy doing. And, I tell you, I absolutely have the best time putting together fun stuff like that. And I can't wait. It's going to be huge. It is really going to be huge. I've got to share the stream to the home of everything, Frederick. Anyway, also, obviously I'm working very hard coming up on the 1 year show to get to that 3,000 watch hour limit on YouTube. It's a big milestone and we're trying to get there and working very hard on that. And of course, before April 1st, obviously, there's a ton of other stuff happening. We got St. Patrick's Day coming. We've got networking at the home of everything, Frederick, which I'm going to be telling you about. We're going to get back on track with that every month. And we've got some good events that are going to be planned. So if you want to be involved in any of that, I always invite that. I love collabs. I love partnerships. All right, coming up today, Bob Miller and Chris Michaels with your local news, weather, and sports. I'm going to go over what's happening in Frederick. And it is just going to be a highlight because there are so many things happening. That could be an hour show alone. I've got Under the Hood, and we meet Nick from Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, and we're talking tires. And then live, we're going to talk with Rhonda McLaughlin and Megan from BOOMTOWN, the story of Frederick, part 1. And I think we're going to get a little insight into part 2, which is kind of exciting as well. And the show is in podcast form as well. You can find that wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, you have 2 more days to get the merch at the home of everything, Frederick. Well, we've got today and tomorrow, I think, right? 28th. Today, tomorrow, Friday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get over to the home of everything Frederick and support the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. All right, here we go. Hey, thank you to our show sponsor, Heart Home Solutions, your solution for all your home remodeling needs. They love to redo basements, new kitchens or bathrooms, even additions. And if you're selling and you want things freshened up to get that top market value, you can contact them, or maybe you just purchased and you saved a little money on a fixer-upper. They can help with that too. Heart Home Solutions, HART, hearthomesolutions.com. Okay, we got Bob Miller in the studio, and I'm sure Chris Michaels is on the way. Here we go. Good morning.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, my hair's always a mess when I show up
I just
here.
said that too when I popped on screen. I was like, it just shows I just don't look in the mirror at all until the video pops up, and I'm like, holy cow, what happened?
Yeah, well, I went in and I looked at myself because, nobody sees me during the morning show, and I wake up early. I don't want to wake up the wife. She's got the week off today. And so I'm just like, and I walked in, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I don't have enough time to run down and get a hat. I need to keep one up here. So, but
Yeah.
you know what? It is what it is.
It is.
And thankfully that your audience is very forgiving.
They're tolerant. They're tolerant of my side. I said, actually, when I opened the show and I did the exact same thing, I said, well, you guys have seen worse on here. So there you go. So I set the bar low so that,
and all of our glory.
That's right. That's right. As real as it gets, for sure. For sure.
So we had Rick Weldon on just for the last segment of the program to talk about what he posted online in regards to a comment. And I'm not mentioning the guy's name because he did take it down. Kai took it down. But going after a local business because a political activist didn't agree with their politics, but didn't do the research enough to realize that person who used to own it didn't own it, and his daughter owned it. So it was completely.
Well, here's my thing on this, right? Like, but really me, got attacked from this same person, and I don't care. I ignored it. I just moved on. When you are well, he was an elected official. I'm sure he is running again. That it's what it seems to be. And you are calling for a boycott of a local business because you disagree with politics. I don't even care if he still owned the business and it was his business. You're a representative of Frederick, the economic impact to shut down a locally owned business, and one that actually hires people that are typically unemployable because they might be in recovery or former had run-ins with the law, whatever it is. Okay,
they need a second chance or a third chance type of
people. And if you have your platform based on the fact that you are an elected official and you're doing that, to me, that demands more than, and I don't think he made a public apology. I know he apologized, I think, directly. I think that is horrible. I think any elected official needs to remember that once they are elected, they represent all constituents. Whether you agree or disagree with them, I think picking people out like that is just unbelievable.
I think the same way. It's. I'm sorry, Chris, but I think that when I see people do this, and then you see movie stars and stuff like that, and they're right. They have a right. Everybody has a right to
Sure,
their opinion, and I
they
understand
do.
that. And let's say the right did this to Target, but when you say you are like a Hollywood person or you're a rock star and you're like, I don't want anybody from the right to have my music or whatever. I'm like, hold it. We spend money. We like your music too. And yet now you're making it awfully hard because you're throwing out your politics, which you have a right to have your political view, but then don't trash the people on the other side who buy your music, go to your
Yeah.
movies as well. The same thing
I
here.
never ever understood that when corporations picked a side, because I just can't believe they don't understand that almost half the country, or maybe more than half the country in certain places, is not on your side. Like, I for Hollywood and musicians, just sing the dang songs, make the movies. I don't need to be preached to at football games or wrestling matches or concerts. I'm there to enjoy. And I just don't, I have never
Right.
gotten that, no matter whether they're left or right. I don't care. I don't want to know anything about it.
Let me just say this, okay? And this is coming directly from Chris Michaels, not Good Morning Frederick, not WFMD. I'm going to say it like this, okay? I'm not one that can sit here and debate politics. That's not my thing. I have my opinions, but the person in reference we're talking about, and this will get back to me, I hope it does, bully, okay? When you insult people for their political beliefs and call them names, that's being a bully, okay? I may not have the highest education, but one thing I'm smart enough not to do is bully people. When you insult a local business, okay, who helps this community because of their politics, and I don't know the daughter's politics. I know it was because of the father they were talking about, but insulting the business because of their politics and not even doing your research is not only bullying, but it's dumb. It is not a smart thing to do. And this is supposed to be an elected official or was an elected official. Well, folks, voting has consequences. If this person decides to run, think about who you're voting for, because right or left, I don't want anybody representing me that's going to sit there and say horrible things about people in my community.
Yeah. Well, and it's happening all over social right now, especially TikTok. There's a couple creators, and there are literally people who say, well, I'd love to follow you, but I need to know who you voted for first. Are you kidding me? Like, that is just an unbelievable thing. They're trying to cancel people because of their look. You don't like my politics, if or what I'm saying, scroll on. No one's forcing you to watch. Why is it their intent to shut people down and just really make their lives miserable? Especially, and I'm not even talking about people who are celebrity status or influencers or anything, like everyday people. It's just crazy to me that this is where we've gotten. And again, I mean, to talk about this divisiveness and ending friendships or business relationships because all of a sudden somebody might have an opinion that is different than yours. My gosh, it is really, really scary. I've had it happen to me personally, where I had a conversation with someone and they made mention about something, and I was like, oh well, I like that person, and then I got totally shut out. And this is an organization that I was a part of that's supposed to be Christian valued and service oriented, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm the same person you knew 20 minutes ago who gives back, tries to do as much for nonprofits, volunteers, does whatever I can. And now, because of one little thing, your whole opinion of me has changed. That's where it freaks me out. I don't understand that thought process, and I just, it's not mine. I love people for who they are. I couldn't care less what they're doing otherwise. Like, just be nice, people. I don't know.
But it's interesting, and I'll let it go after this. First of all, two points real quick, and then I'll shut up. Number one, you're a Commanders fan and you're a Jets fan, and I'm a Cowboys fan, and look at us having a discussion. All right. So, and my second point was that I used to play golf with the Frederick golf guy, Chris Moore. God rest his soul. He passed away last year. But we were diametrically opposed when it came to politics. He was very far on the left. I'm very center to the right. And we would argue and, yell at each other. And he swore more than I did. But, but when we hit the first tee, it was all about golf. Yeah. It was, you could, and then we could still have a good time, have fun, and play golf together. And then when we walk out, when you're done, we still have the argument, but we could still be friends. And I think that the people now have to go, well, I cannot associate with you because you like this person, you voted for that person, you drink this soda. I don't care what it is. People are trying to be divided more than being together. It's sad.
In the scheme of things, we're all humans. We're all just out here trying to survive, help one another, hopefully be kind. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I just want to make one more point too, and then I'll drop this subject. I've been called wishy-washy. Why? Because I have ideas from the right and left. I believe in ideas from both sides. I don't like extremes on either side. That's what I am against. And I'll never forget this. I had a text on a text line. Bob, you might have saw this. And I'm assuming this was for me texting. I can't figure it out. Are you for or against Trump? Well, good. That's what I want because it's none of your business. It's none of your business. I don't put my business out there. I give my opinion. I say things against him. I say things for him. Same thing with the other side, Joe Biden. So, you know what? Don't give me this, I'm right wing, blah, blah, blah. Me and Bob disagree on things on air. In fact, we had one when you walked in a couple of days ago. But at the end of the day, I respect him. He respects me. And we know the rules. The morning mayor is always right. And that's it.
Yes, there you go. Rule number one. I can only be right with Chris. Everybody else in my life, I'm wrong.
Right.
But anyway, we do love each other here. So that's the good thing. And by the way, real quick funny story. So Danny called me yesterday. And she texted me first of all, and I'm like, Danny, she's like, oh, we'll talk, in the morning. I'm like, you got my phone number, use it. I invited her to call.
It was late-ish, and I know you get up early.
So she calls, and what's the first thing she hears? When I say, get out of here. It's like,
that's
what?
How he answered the phone. I thought, okay, you invited me to call. Now you're screaming at me on the phone.
So that I was talking to my beautiful young puppy who was up my butt all night long. So, yeah. So anyway, Danny, always happy. You call me anytime, you know that.
I know.
So getting into news here, we don't have a whole lot of news, which I guess is a good thing. The news we do have came, from the Morning News Express. Mayor Michael O'Connor is on monthly, and we do appreciate him joining. Vote is expected to take place by the Frederick City Council on a proposal to raise the water and sewer rates. A city council committee earlier this month approved a measure to raise the rates by 3% between fiscal years 2026 and 2030. Fiscal year 2026 begins on July 1st, 2025. During a recent appearance on said WFMD Morning News Express, Mayor Michael O'Connor said the proposed rate increase was recommended by a consultant who looked at growth in the city, service expansion where necessary, normal maintenance, and significant capital cost. That person then made a recommendation to raise the rates. And that question came from our very own morning mayor, Bob Miller. Anything you want to add to that? Because you asked him the question. It was a good question.
Wait, is it 3% per year?
I think that's what it was. Yeah, or at least the next raise, the next one will be that much. So, yeah. But, the mayor was mentioned about, infrastructure of the system and the fact that we don't, if we're growing so fast, we're going to need to be able to increase the amount of water, be able to increase the amount of sewage that's going to have to go out. So there's always a cost to that kind of infrastructure. And when you have a growing city like Frederick is growing, it's not like it used to be. So it keeps on growing and growing and growing. So,
it's not like in Tawnytown where it's not growing at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can hear that interview. Just head to WFMD.com. It is posted over there, as are all the interviews we have on the Morning News Express. And one more thing, sentence was handed down on Tuesday in Frederick County Circuit Court in connection with a road rage incident last year. Brian Allen Paradine, 30 of Littlestown, Pennsylvania, was given 25 years in prison with all but 5 years suspended. Paradine pleaded guilty to first-degree assault and use of a firearm in a crime of violence. As part of his sentence, the judge ordered that Paradine not be considered for parole. He must serve all 5 years in prison. So there you go. And again, just be careful out there. Road rage is a thing when you're out and about. Sometimes it's better just to take a deep breath and calm down. Getting to weather.
Oh, I was just going to say, they talk about the person who called it in. I know that person who called it in. And then they drove to his work, which was right there in Thurmont off of Route 15. And he was like, yep, that was me. So, yeah, gets what he deserves. Gets what he deserves.
Yeah,
absolutely. And get into weather, Danny. It is a beautiful day today. Take off that jacket. If you're wearing a jacket, well, maybe you want to wear a light one. But
I have a sweater. Yeah, sweater.
Okay.
Just perfect.
It's not. Is it the sweater of my picture and Bob Miller's picture on it? The Morning News Express. Is it that sweater or no? If not, we'll have to get you one to wear. It is going to be a high of 64 today. Sunny to partly cloudy. You're going to get down to a low of 45 tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. And taking a look at tomorrow, it's going to be another nice one. It's going to be 63, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. And then tomorrow night, 38. And Danny's, I look at the rest of the week. Friday, we'll look at a high of 53, which isn't bad. And Saturday, a high of 59. So a nice few days of weather coming up.
I love it.
Very nice weather. Well, it was Alex Ovechkin, the great eight, lighting up the lamps again last night. 883rd goal of his career. He's 12 back of passing Wayne Gretzky's mark of 894. His 30th goal of the season. Still not enough for the Capitals to beat the Calgary Flames. They lost last night by a score of 3-1. High school action yesterday in boys basketball, CMC large school finale. North High defeated Urbana 64-61. The Hubs had 4 double-digit scores. On the ladies' side, large school, it was Urbana over Oakdale. Urbana became the first team outside, or I would say inside of Frederick, to knock off Oakdale. They only lost 3 games this whole season. The Hawks are now CMC champs for the 3rd time overall since 2022. Small school CMC. It was Catoctin over Williamsport, 43-39. Junior Kelsey Troxel had a game-high 22 points. With the what did they call them in the paper today? The Crab Five will take on the old Fab Five from Michigan State. Number 8 Michigan State comes in to take on the Terps tonight. Tip-off at 6:30. And Deanna Taurasi is retiring from the WNBA after 20 seasons. So,
wow.
Congratulations to her. And also one more final thing. The Washington Commanders have given 2-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jonathan Allen permission to seek a trade. So
okay.
He may be wearing a different jersey.
He may for sure. All right, gentlemen. Well, appreciate you very much. We will see you tomorrow morning right here on Good Morning Frederick.
Good morning. Happy day for you.
All right. Thank them so much for stopping in. And, I hate politics. I want to say good morning to Connie DeGrange. Good morning, sunshine, to you as well. Our friend Darren Ahern. Good morning to you. Awesome human right there. And Donna Mead. She's here to watch under the hood, I think. She is Ken's Automotive and Transmissions. She and her husband, Mark, and of course, Tyler as well. And we'll be getting to that right after this break. We're going to get to the highlight of all the events. Then we've got Under the Hood. And today we've got Nick from Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, and we're talking tires. And then at 9:45 or so, we'll have a live interview with Rhonda McLaughlin and Megan from BOOMTOWN, the story of Frederick. But first, we got to get to all these things right now.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shining finally beyond compare.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is sponsored by Pulling for Veterans. Pulling for Veterans is a nonprofit that educates the public on PTSD. You can rent one of the trailers starting at just $1 per hour. The trailer is filled with information about PTSD and how to help. Plus, each trailer honors a vet and acts as a rolling memorial. More details at pullingforveterans.org.
Okay, it is now time to find out what is happening in Frederick. Well, food truck season is coming fast now that the weather is breaking and getting nicer. Today's Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Intense Barbecue, family-owned barbecue food truck and catering company who cooks in small batches to ensure your food is as fresh as it can be when you get it from them. They do full catering, not just barbecue. If you want filet mignon, they'll do it. If you want steaks, they'll do it. If you want burgers and fries, they'll do it, okay? You can find them at intensebarbecue.com, IN0, BBQ.com. And when you have their food, you will satisfy your meat tooth. All right, we got to quickly roll through what's happening in Frederick because we got a lot to get to today. If you want to see the full calendar, just go to the description in this video and click on it and you can see all the events, okay? Because there are a lot. Tonight, the Be Local Love Awards is at Union Mills. That is sold out, though. So there may be tickets available. If people don't show, you can reach out to Caressa for that. 6:30, there is an author talk and book signing at Curious Iguana. March 1st, first Saturday, more and more events keep getting added. The one I just added is 7 p.m., rooted in the community at True Standard Distilling. Proceeds, I think tickets are $10, and proceeds benefit scholarships for nature classes at Wild Sprouts. So you can head to that as well. Of course, come down to the home of everything Frederick for first Saturday, 11 to 4. We'll be in the shop with some great stuff. Haven't figured out exactly what we're doing yet, but it's going to be fun. I can guarantee you want to stop by. Plus, you need to get your St. Patrick's Day Good Morning Frederick shirt, and we will be announcing our next month's nonprofit. And then there's that the IBR Bull Riding Finals at Carroll County Ag Center in Westminster at 7 p.m. Win tickets by listening to Emma J today and tomorrow on WFRE. She is middays. She is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And she'll have all the details and family 4-pack of tickets to that if you want. Here's an FYI, March 3rd through 7th, the Frederick Visitor Center is going to be closed for the installation of new exhibits. March 4th, you want to join me at 3 o'clock, the joint ribbon cutting for Midnight Baker and Punk and Peasant Pierogi. That is at Maryland Bakes on Route 40. March 5th, it is a networking event, cocktails and conversations at the home of everything Frederick from 5 to 7. And then from 6 to 8, it's the African Americans of Excellence exhibit, reception, and auction. So go to the home of everything Frederick from 5 to 6, then head over to Warehouse and hang out from 6:30 to 8, and you can do it all like I do. March 5th to 19th is the Unity campaign. I think we're going to be talking to Aaron Lawson about that soon. March 6th, we're going to talk more about BOOMTOWN, but that is one of 2 screenings that you're going to be able to attend, or one of 2 dates. And then March 8th, 10 a.m. to noon, that invasive plants and native plant alternatives. We are really trying to do a lot in Frederick County to plant more natives because the invasive plants are actually hurting our ecosystem. 4 o'clock is the Leprechaun Luau, and 7 o'clock is the Murder Mystery Party at Dragon Distillery. The Maple Syrup Festival is coming in March, the 8th, the 9th, the 15th, and 16th. And then March 13th is that second 3-screen date for BOOMTOWN. March 14th, I'm inviting you, join me for Dinner in the Dark to benefit Leader Dogs for the Blind at Walkersville Fire Hall. I'm emceeing that event. It's going to be a ton of fun. You're going to blindfold us to kind of understand what it might be like if you lost your vision. And then 5 to 10 is the Shamrock Lucky Bingo benefiting the American Cancer Society. We're going to be going over all the St. Patrick's Day events. A lot of them are planned for March 15th. Of course, there's also that retro prom is 7 p.m. at the William Talley Rec Center to benefit the Maryland Ensemble Theater. March 15th and 16th, I'm going to be out at the Home and Garden Show. It's the 50th annual. I'm going to be checking out clients like A&S Construction and others who are going to be out there and just seeing what's new and hot for your home now that spring will be just around the corner. March 19th, Spring Sip and Paint at the Home of Everything Frederick. Please get your space now. It's going to be great. We're going to be doing that cool butterfly design, again, ringing in spring as soon as we can, and it's going to be a lot of fun. March 28th is the second annual Battle for South Mountain, and it's a basketball game at Brunswick High School between the staff of Brunswick Feeders and Middletown Feeders, but it all benefits Frederick County Mental Health Association, which is a great cause. March 29th, 8 to 4, if you have a young one, 6 to 17 years old, if you have a kid, how to turkey hunt and trout fishing day. And that's at Catoctin Fish and Game in Myersville. You can get more information if you search on Facebook. You will find more information on that. Of course, it's also on the full calendar, the links and everything. April 1st, the 1-year anniversary of Good Morning Frederick. Huge things are happening, okay? You don't want to miss that show. I'm telling you right now. 8:30 at April 12th, 8:30 disc golf tournament in Emmitsburg. Go to discgolfscene.com. April 24th is SHIP's annual lip sync battle, and you go to shipfrederick.com. Sign up, put a team together. It's so fun. We're going to have a great time at that event too. And then April 26th is Andrea's House Rise and Renew Gala at the Delaplane Arts Center. Andrea's House is a great organization, and you really want to head over there and help. It helps moms stay with their kids while they're in recovery and just trying to get on the right path. If you have an event you want included on the calendar, just email it to everythingfredericklive@gmail.com or just somehow make sure I see it. Very tough for me when you just tag me in something. Much easier for me to see it if you email it or actually even message it to me on Facebook. All right, let's get to Ken's Under the Hood with Ken's Automotive and Transmissions. Today we meet Nick, who is the service manager, and we're going to talk tires. Okay, we got a new face here, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions. This is Nick. What is your role here?
I am the service manager here at Ken's Automotive and
Service manager. So you kind of make sure when people come in, you're checking them in. You checked me out the other day when I came to pick up my car. All right, big talk. Tires, they're not cheap.
No, tires are definitely not cheap, but it is vital to the safety and reliance of your vehicle.
Okay.
As far as tires are concerned, you should always check them first thing in the morning. I would just do a quick walk around your vehicle, make sure none of them are flat. Obviously, that's the first thing we all look at.
So here's my problem. When I look at my tires, they always look flat. I mean, but not really. I'm not really sure. So how do you you want a good, I guess, boilerplate on what your tires are supposed to look like inflated, right? Because aren't there different ones like low
Yes.
profile and wider
100%.
tires? Okay.
If they start bubbling out the bottom, that's the first indicator to know
That's
that they're
bad.
low. Secondly,
Okay.
most vehicles, 2005 and newer, have a TPMS system that stands
Yes.
for Tire Pressure Monitoring System. If that light's on, it's because one of your tires is low, overinflated, or there's a fault with the tire sensors themselves.
And that's kind of troubling, like this time of year, because as we get cold and hot, sometimes your TPMS will go off and you just need to check and it resets.
So for every 10 degrees that the air temperature goes down, Fahrenheit, PSI goes down 1.
Oh,
So
interesting.
that's a good thing to keep in mind as well.
Okay.
And then also with tire safety, if you're driving down the road and you feel a vibration or you hear a thumping noise, it's impeccable to get your tires and wheels checked out.
Yeah.
It can be anything from just bad balance. It could be belt separation or a bubble in the sidewall, and those two things could, if left untreated, could cause severe injury. So it's good to get those looked at.
Okay, so let me ask you, with tires in particular, are there better brands, or can you still kind of save a little and get a decent quality tire? I'm not asking for, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but they're like $200 a piece.
Right. So
In some ways, is there a good middle of the road tire if you need to save a little, but you want to?
Yeah. I would say good middle of the road tires, if you want the best bang for your buck, is going to be the Cooper brands or Kumo brands, and even Toyo.
Okay.
If you want to go grade up, you have your Michelin's, Continental, Yokohama, and then of course everyone has their economy brand.
Yeah.
But you do get the best bang for your buck with that middle grade tire.
Okay, so if I needed new tires right now, is that something you guys can help take care of?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we can get our tires, we can check the alignment, balance, new tires put on here as well. That's really cool because, again, kind of going from cold weather to warmer weather as we get into spring, it's going to be important people are safe. Helps with your fuel economy when you have your tires properly pressurized. Now, what do you think about people like me who would not ever do that? Like, actually, when I see my tire low, I'll pull in somewhere and ask someone very nice, hey, do you mind inflating my tires, or whatever. Is that something people can do here? Can they pull in and you guys will help them out?
If someone were to come by and say, hey, I need air in my tires, I can do one of two things. If you're in a rush, I can quickly put air in your tires. If you want us to take a deep look at your tires, I have no problem doing that either.
That's
we can
awesome.
schedule you in, take a look, see what's going on, get you driving correctly.
Now, how about like those tires like at Sheets, they have the tire thing. How do I know how much air to put in my tires?
Right, so on the inside of, on the door jamb on any vehicle, you can see a placard. It has a lot of information on it. They're usually yellow nowadays. They used to be gray, so depending on what kind of car you have, if you look on your door, you'll see that placard. It'll tell you exactly what the manufacturer wants the PSI in the front and rear tires.
Okay, so you can just open your door. I'd probably have to take a picture of it because I can't see or read anything, so I have to make it really big. But if you do that, you'll know exactly how much, what is it, pounds per square inch?
Pounds per square inch,
PSI goes into those tires. Don't ever want to overinflate. You don't want to run them underinflated. You want them just right so that your car runs well. But if you ever have questions, that's why these guys are here. Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, just downtown, corner of Patrick and Jefferson Streets. kenstrans.com, where you can make an appointment. Or if you happen to be driving by, stop in. If the guys have some time, they will certainly take care of you. I know that for sure. Awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Ah, yes. Great. Family-owned business since 1968. They've been around a long time. They do bumper to bumper. I didn't even realize they did tires. As well, when I started this whole journey with them, I didn't even realize they did all things, including transmissions. So oil changes, tire rotations. I know they did that for me, but I didn't even think about that for tires. So if you need any work done on your car, I highly recommend Ken's Automotive and Transmissions. Okay, one more quick break. Then we're going to be back with Rhonda McLaughlin and Megan. They are with BOOMTOWN, the story of Frederick, part 1. And we may be getting some information about part 2 as well. We're going to find out all about that. It's coming up just after this.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is total car care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
Oh, goodness. I forgot to bring myself back on. How about this? A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they are located right here in Frederick. They service Frederick County and surrounding areas. A&S specialize in roofing and siding. They can replace it all or fix it. They can do your windows, gutters, and even build you a new patio or deck, or even repair one that you already have. Maybe you just need new railings or things like that. I did see, if you look on their Facebook page under A&S Construction, you will see a brand new deck that they just built for a mutual friend. And they put, because it's like one of those walkout, and you have a walkout basement, they put that stuff underneath so you can sit underneath the deck during a rainstorm and not get wet. Makes it like now a whole nother outdoor room. I love that so much. So find them on social media or look at their website, ansconstruction.net. Give Sandra a call, 301-703-2157. Again, info at ansconstruction.net. And because you watch Good Morning Frederick, you can get $750 off any roof or siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs. Just tell Sandra that Danny sent you, and she will take great care of you. That I know for sure. Okay, it looks like, oh, here we go. We got them both on. Let's welcome Megan and Rhonda to Good Morning Frederick. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, Rhonda. I see you're in full gear. I love it.
Yeah.
The BOOMTOWN t-shirts.
I know.
Okay. So
mine's
if
in the wash.
people have been living under a rock and don't know anything about BOOMTOWN, which I can't even believe that would be possible, but Rhonda, why don't you give me the quick history about this project that your husband Salyer's been working on, and then we'll get into the screenings that are coming up, as well as I think maybe we'll talk a little bit about part 2. Is that right?
That's right.
Yep. Awesome.
So we started the project back in August of 23. Salyer started writing it. I mean, it's something we talked about for a long time. And we just decided to jump in and go for it. We didn't have any clients, as you know, Danny. We really relied on the support of the community, and it's been fantastic. And really, we've had an overwhelmingly positive response, I would say. So far to date, we've raised a little over $250,000 to produce.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yes.
Let's shout out, because I think I just saw something like WLR just kicked in additional monies.
Yes.
I think it's like the Delaplane too. Why don't you shout out some of those big sponsors who have really supported this project, because it ain't cheap to make a movie.
No, it's not.
I know that's a lot of pressure to fundraise. So who are kind of your top peeps?
Well, we have many, and I wish we had time to mention them all, but we have WLR Automotive is our top sponsor so far. They're an executive producer. I don't know if you want me to mention amounts, but they have given us a tremendous amount of money and support in every way, not just financially. Their marketing team has been helpful and supportive, and even helping us on the set. Yeah. I mean, they have been amazing. The Delaplane Foundation is also an executive producer, and they have been supportive in absolutely every way. Of course, Marlene Young, everybody knows, is just awesome. Yeah. And they're going to continue their support with us. Also, the Osterman Family Foundation has been a very big supporter. And then after that, we have many, we have private individuals who have given us as much as $10,000 toward our
Yes.
film. We have, many, many people who have given us 5,000, 500, 100. I mean, every little bit has gotten us to this point. And then
Yeah.
we have probably over $70,000 in kind trade. People like yourself, Danny, people like Everything Frederick and Good Morning Frederick have been supportive. And, it's hard to put a number on that sometimes, financially, but it matters. I mean, we could not do it without everyone that's helped us. It's really,
I think people think when you say you're making a movie, they automatically think Hollywood and all this huge team of people and all this stuff. And this is a literal bootstrapped. It's beautiful and it's professionally done. It's just not like the big money thing. So we could not have this great capture of Frederick. Now, the part one, I believe, takes place in the 1940s, right?
It actually, well, there is a scene from the 1940s, which is a really beautiful scene, but most of the film takes place between like 1968 up until, like maybe the very late 70s, early 80s. The second part of the film, which Megan is our production manager, by the way. We are so glad that we met her, and she has been, I mean, she wears many hats, but the one title,
as we all do.
We all wear a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
Megan has been great. She just is willing to jump in and do whatever it takes to get it done, and we really appreciate that. We've had an incredible team to help us. And Octavo has been amazing with providing graphics for us. Daniel Rizzo helped us with PR right from the beginning. And we have some of the actors that are in the show that are local that have actually been extremely supportive and helping behind the scenes and helping us promote it. And it's amazing, including, I don't know if I want to get into all of that. I don't know if I should get into all of that, but just many people, many
tons of people. Yeah. And it's hard because you start mentioning people and then there are other people you forget if you don't have the list. It's all good. We'll make sure and continue to shout them out as we see it. And the other big thing is these screenings that you guys are doing is how the general public can support this effort, because watching the movie, sharing it, this part one, and just experiencing it is the whole purpose, right? If you want people to go and see it and enjoy it. And so we have these, you guys have these screenings come up. We've been talking about them every day, March 6th and March 13th at Warehouse Cinemas.
Yes. And I want to make sure people understand, you cannot purchase the tickets through Warehouse Cinemas.
I've been saying that. Yeah.
And you may provide a link, but if you're looking to get tickets and you don't know how to find us, you can go to any of our personal Facebook pages, but you can also go to our BOOMTOWNFrederick.com website, or you can go to our BOOMTOWN Frederick Facebook page. And you can
Instagram.
And Instagram.
And then, of course, Instagram.
Megan has been working on that along with the rest of our team to put it out there everywhere that we can. There's some new things that are happening that I probably can't talk too much about. And I know Megan's going to talk about part two, but we're talking to Maryland Public TV. We knew that we would be doing these things, but some of those things are starting to come to fruition, and we're really, really excited about that. So I'd like for Megan maybe now to talk about.
Well, Megan, it is nice to meet you. We need to do this more often so you can keep us posted on things that are happening, and we can certainly let our audience know. So tell me what it's been like working on this production and some of the stuff that you're able to share maybe about part two.
Yeah. Well, I first wanted to say you and I have a common connection. Devin.
Oh, my sister
was my babysitter and then worked with me at Flying Dog. So I just want to that connection. Love Devin. Shout out to her. Shout out to Devo.
Oh yeah, Devo. She's one of a kind for sure.
I have been, and I truly say this, I've been so blessed to be a part of this project. I know that sounds maybe a tad dramatic to some, but it has been so much fun. It has been amazing to watch the process and watch Rhonda and Salyer work together to make magic happen with the budget that we have. So not only is the film itself, part one, and obviously part two will be as well, inspiring, but the bringing the community, Frederick community together to make the film has also been just as inspiring. And obviously the support too from the Frederick community. So that's something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm from Frederick, born and raised, and that has been, it's been really almost emotional for me to see. So in part two, it kind of plays into that theme even more so, with part one being the revitalization of downtown Frederick and basically taking it from brink to brilliant, which is what the book it's based on. Part two really focuses on the injection of the arts into Frederick, which, as everyone knows, Frederick is a very art-driven community. It brings people together. The arts are something that bring people together. Everyone has a common favorite artist, or we like to paint or, do crafts and things like that. And so part two really focuses on bringing that art into Frederick and how that was done. And then what that looks like today. So it kind of goes through the current day of what's happening in Frederick now, as opposed to part one, which really focused on bringing downtown back to life. Which, I mean, I don't want to give too much because I want people to go to the screening, but you'd be shocked where it was and now and what it looks like now. I mean,
well, that's what I love about this whole project. And, I talked with Chris Hall, who I went to high school with, our local historian. A lot of people a lot of us are transplants from somewhere else. And you just kind of get into your day to day and you don't even really think about the history of the place that we love so much. And it's so important to understand history on a grand scale, but certainly even history locally, because it does kind of give you that foundation to be proud of where we came from. Obviously, you always know improvements can always be made, but certainly knowing the story of how Frederick was established could give you a better idea on why we're such a gem, I think. So this is really exciting.
And I think, just to your point, a lot of people don't realize or don't know about the flood that happened.
No, that's true, because every time it rains in downtown Frederick and people freak out about Baker Park flooding, that they don't understand that it was built that way and because of that flood in the 70s. So
yeah. So you're exactly right. So that's another really great piece of this film is the education on the history of simple things that we see every day, or it's thought provoking of how or why things were done downtown. Really fascinating stuff. I encourage everyone to see it, especially Frederick locals, but everyone outside of Frederick too, obviously.
It's more contemporary history. Of course we have the history, we have the Civil War, we have all of those things that we know, and that Frederick has been built on this historical town. But there's a lot of contemporary history that everybody doesn't know. I moved to Frederick in 1982. It is an entirely different place now than it was in 1982.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen major change, and I saw, Baker Park before the flood plan. It has changed drastically, and it is, we've often thought about moving over the years because, we just want to explore some other place. But the fact is, we just have never even found another town that is as amazing as Frederick is. It's a wonderful place to raise your family. And, now, where a lot of young people wanted to leave and go see if the grass was greener in other places, I think they're realizing that the grass is pretty green right here in Frederick.
Girl, I did that right after high school. I moved to Baltimore. I moved to San Diego. I got married and moved to Australia. And where did I end up back? Because there is no place like this town. Really, truly.
Yeah, me too. I was in New York City and I came back.
Yeah. No, it's just, there is something, and Chris Hall alluded to it a little bit, that, the choices that Frederick made in the early settling days that made Hagerstown what it is and made Frederick what it is. There were some actual choices that were made to
Yeah.
keep Frederick this gem. And
Yeah.
I think we've just built on that. And I'm so happy that, I love the rebel rousers that kind of shook things up in the 70s, because that's what, every community should have, people who ask questions and say, well, what if, and why can't we? And, and I think that that's really a great education for everyone. So we're really excited. Okay. So Rhonda, remind us. So it is March 6th. You
March
have
6th. We have three
showings.
We have 5 o'clock, 6:15, and 7:20, but the 7:20 is sold out on March 6th.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
And then on March 16th, correct me if I'm wrong.
13th.
I'm sorry,
13th.
March 13th.
1 week later.
March 13th. We have 5, 6:15, and 7:20, and there are still tickets available for all of those shows, I believe. So,
okay. So get on right now. Go to social, search BOOMTOWN Frederick. You cannot buy your tickets through Warehouse Cinemas, so you have to buy the tickets directly off the BOOMTOWNFrederick.com or BOOMTOWN Frederick's Instagram or Facebook pages. You'll see the links. I've also posted the links in the description of this video today, direct links to get your tickets. Come on out, have a great time. Mama Cone and I are going to be there on March 6th. We're going to the first show. I missed it before because I wasn't feeling well. So I'm so excited to see part 1 on the big screen. It's going to be awesome.
And I have your t-shirt coming also. We have merchandise too.
Merch for sale. I love it. Can you buy that on the website?
Yes, we're getting all of that on there now. So, yep.
Fantastic. Well, Megan, I know we're going to be talking to you more. I'd love to stay up to date with whatever you guys need coming up to get ready for part 2 as well. And we'll have you on whenever you have anything to share. Rhonda, I love you. And you always have a space here whenever you need it.
Thank you so much, Danny. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Yes, we will see you next soon, right? Next week. Next week.
Right.
Can't wait. All right. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Want to thank them for that. That's so exciting. March 6th, March 13th, our own stars. Now, I know our good friend Tammy Sue Danchenko is in the movie. I can't wait to see. I know we've got some other locals that were extras and did all sorts of stuff. Can't wait to see how all of that comes together for sure. Want to say good morning, our good friend Shannon Flannery, the real estate goddess herself, and Salty Seahorse. Haven't seen you in a while. Coming up, if you're looking for a place to rent in Corolla, I think, that's where their house is. If you go on to our YouTube channel and search Corolla, North Carolina, or Outer Banks, probably, their house will come up. If you're looking for a place to rent, they're great people. And their house is pretty nice too. Can fit a bunch of people there at their house in Corolla. And it's on the 4x4 beach. So you do need a 4-wheel drive to get to them, just an FYI. All right. We thank you guys so much for watching. Good Morning Frederick is just seriously a passion project for me. So I appreciate the support, you guys tuning in every day. I couldn't do this without you. Remember, we stream weekdays at 9 a.m. or you can watch anytime on YouTube. Please share these segments. Share the show through your socials. It really helps people like Rhonda spread the word about projects they're working on, our local businesses like Ken's Automotive and Transmissions. So important to our economy and our community, these locally owned businesses for sure. Tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick as well. Have an amazing day. Let's get out there and let's be great, Frederick. It's so easy. We can do it. And let's be kind too while